I think one of the things the Fed cannot do is use the word recession. The other thing I think they can't do is stop the rhetoric of fighting inflation. One thing we know about the Jerome Powell Federal Reserve is that they don't change an action until they talk about changing an action, and they haven't done that yet. There's several people on my sort of traditional investing side of things that have berated me with commentary and tweets and texts about how the Fed needs to stop because of cracks in the global economy. And yet the Fed speakers, of which I've never seen this many in my 29 years of doing this, the Fed speakers keep saying the same thing. And that's why I think this particular inflation number has been so damaging in the very short term post the release of the number that we've seen to both traditional assets and crypto, is because even that slight uptick is not what the Fed needs to see. We saw not only a slight uptick, but it's the second consecutive month of a fairly large uptick cumulatively versus expectations and versus the last month's reading of core month-over-month CPI. Now, the issue is that the year over year is ticking down, and it's going to continue to tick down because of base effects. I know there have been people that have probably talked about this on this show before. When you reach a certain level of inflation and then you get a year out from that, the change on a year is not going to look as dramatic. But we rose so far so fast that the effect to the consumer is really bad, and that's why we're staring now at the month over month versus the year over year